Hey guys, welcome to the Tom Reefer studio. Here's the 20-gallon mixed reef cube. Up here is the 3.5-gallon PICO reef. Over here is the 5-gallon tall, as I call it, closer to 6 gallons. And over here is the 10-gallon peninsula reef that I just put up about a month ago. Here's the camera where it happens. I think we're on now. I just did a water change yesterday on the 20. It's looking great. Today is called Water Change Wednesday. And what Water Change Wednesday is, you leave a comment or a question below the video and I'll answer it there and then I'll try to answer it here. All right, so let's get into it, guys. Oh, the 5-gallon retrofit. I kind of bombed on that temporarily, guys. Richard, one of my favorite viewers, mentioned that silicone and acrylic doesn't create enough of a bond. I told him, you know what? I remember using it years ago and having the same issue. It's gonna leak. It's not creating the bond. You need acrylic glue. So what I did is tore it off and I have glass on order. Hey, is this Johnny? Johnny, it's Tom. Good, how you doing? How are we making out? Are we gonna be done today? I thought maybe because of the snow, you know. Oh, good. All right, I'll be down in a few minutes. Well, give me an hour. How long are you going to be there? I'll be here. Okay, great. All right, thanks a lot, Johnny. Take care. Bye. That's Johnny D. He's my glass guy. All right, so new viewers, welcome aboard the Tom Reefer train. Let's get right into it. Water Change Wednesday. All right, first question. Sebastian asks, is there any way to cool down your Nano Reef other than using a chiller and evaporative cooling? He lives in the Caribbean and he's got 85 degrees Fahrenheit on average and he's got 80% relative humidity. He mentioned he tried evaporative cooling and I assumed like he was running fans over it. And that didn't work so well, maybe because of the heat and the humidity. That would be my first choice, is run a fan over, a small one. Run a small fan across the top of your water, the surface. Other than air conditioning in your room, if he doesn't have that, I told him there's a way if it kind of gets too high, and it's a simple method, old school, is you fill up a bag in your freezer with water and freeze it. Make a block of ice out of it. And then you just submerge that in your tank and it takes the water temperature down slowly. And you just have to keep your eye on it because you don't want it to go down too low. You just have to keep your eye on it and then you remove the bag when you reach your temperature. If I pass out during this video, guys, I am so hot in here. I got the window open, I got the fan on. Lowered the heat down. I don't know what it is. All right, next question. Ralph asks, what's the difference between taking care of soft coral and SPS coral? Some of those questions have been asked, but I thought, okay, I've never really come out and said it's really a simple thing. SPS require far more stable parameters, especially pH, alkalinity, calcium. Those levels have to stay at a specific amount. And in my videos, I tell you 450 calcium, between 9 and 12 DKH, pH 8.3. You could do 8.2 also. So I have videos on that also. That's the biggest difference. Soft corals are far more tolerant of swings in your parameters, and they usually fare better. And that's why when you first start, you usually start with soft corals, leathers, you know, checking the tanks out just to see if something will come up, you know, to see if I can mention something. I didn't have any large project today. Let's see if I can come up with something. Oh, I do have something. My digitata, I don't think I mentioned it in the last video. Check this out. Now you can see where it's growing over there. It's starting to round off already. That was only like a week ago. So it's okay. It's being shaded by the leather a little bit. And this is growing really nice too. It's starting to get a nice cool, almost like a cactus effect. All right, so I temporarily just put it here. I put some super glue gel there just to hold it on. I'll probably give that away. All right, this is a good one. In my opinion, this is a good one. This is serious stuff now, so let's get into it. Sean asks me, he's been in the hobby for about 2 years now. He recently upgraded from a 26-gallon to a 65-gallon. And he's noticed recently that he's not enjoying his reef, and it's slowly but surely slipping away, in his words, and would possibly downsizing result in more focus. This is my philosophy, guys, on reef keeping. Maybe I've alluded to it a little, and I'm sure you guys have gotten it, but Sean is probably a new viewer. This is the way I look at it. If you can't enjoy your reef tank, no matter what size it is, then why do it? I asked him to ask the question, what did you enjoy about it when you were first starting? And then I said, what don't you enjoy about it now that you have the 65-gallon? I had a 250-gallon Invol about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more, and I had it for 3 or 4 years, and it's a lot of work. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot, but even with a large tank and a lot of the water changing quantities and all that you do with a large tank, I still sat in my chair and looked at it and really enjoyed it. So Sean, what I found is, yes, by downsizing like these small nanos, I mean, look, I have 4 now, and even in changing the water and spending maintenance, I had mentioned this in another Water Change Wednesday, that I'm really only 2.5 hours weekly on maintaining this, other than 5 minutes each night to feed. That's about it. Or if something goes wrong, which nothing really seems to be going wrong with my tanks. So I would just ask yourself the question, what do I enjoy about reef keeping and what don't I enjoy about reef keeping? And get rid of the don'ts and keep the what you enjoy about it. So if it's downsizing, so it's less work, less maintenance, then do that, you know, and then you'll probably get back into it. I think we all go through phases where we're a little like, oh man, I don't even want to feed the fish tonight, which I do. Sometimes I skip a night. If I'm in the middle of something and I don't want to feed, I'll skip a night, you know, why do it? Then it becomes a job. You don't want your reef keeping to become a job. All right. Ralph wanted a shout out. Now, I don't know, Ralph, whether I should give you a shout out or not. You know what's going to happen? If I give you a shout out, Ralph, everybody's going to want shout outs, and I can't start doing that. All right, my man? So, no, I can't give you a shout out. All right, next question. Brandon asks me, he has a 55-gallon tank, and he has 1 clownfish in it, and he wants to know how many clownfish can he get in that tank. We've talked about this before, but I thought I'd talk about it again because, you know, new viewers, you never know. You could probably keep quite a few clownfish in a 55, maybe up to 10 or more, bio-load wise, but you can't keep them in there behaviorally. They'll fight and they'll try to pair off, and you can't do it. They'll fight to the death, and that's what I told him. I said if he has 1, and he puts 1 more in there, they may fight to the death. Either the new one that goes in will be killed, or the old one that's in there, if the new one, you know, it's just not a good idea. It's better to start out with a pair from the beginning, so they're used to each other, or at least put 2 in at the same time. In his situation, he has 1 now. I told him to put 2 more in, And I don't mean to have this sacrificial clown thing going on, but what probably will happen is all three of them will kind of fight. Or maybe one will fight the two new ones, or, you know, it's been different for me over the years. So what'll happen, hopefully, is that of the three, two will pair, but that third one is going to get abused and cast out and probably killed. But that's what I told him, and that's what I would recommend. Mother Rabbits 09 asked me how long I've been into reef keeping. I've been reef keeping now, guys, for 25 years. Now, I was doing a few more years before that, but I started with some saltwater fish only, canister filter, you know, that kind of thing. I had a 20-gallon with about 4 or 5 fish in there. Actually, I got it for my son. Underlying, I wanted to do it for me, you know, of course. But anyway, I had that for a couple of years, and then I got into reef keeping in 1995. So ever since then, it's been reefs. Jim asked me, what did you say was in your ATO water? Kalkwasser is in my ATO water. What I would recommend that you do, Jim, is there's 2 books that I read when I started reef keeping. In my opinion, they're the standard. So before I even attempted to start a reef tank, I read these 2 books. And one was Martin Moe, and the other one was Julian Sprung and J. Charles Delbeek. I think it was called The Reef Aquarium. That was like a textbook. If you don't like to read, I'm not forcing my videos on you, but if you go back in the history of my videos, I show every single thing you need to know about starting a reef tank. If you can tolerate me, I have almost 100 now. Wow, 100. Select the ones that you have questions on. You might have read something already. Select the ones that you have questions on. Kalkwasser in your ATO. All right, so I still haven't decided what to do with this tank yet, guys. I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I have some variables that are keeping me going head into it. Part of it's money. You know, if I really want to go all out into this, I'm going to have to spend some coin on it. And I don't know if I can do that right now. So we'll just have to look at it like it is. All right, guys. That should do it for this one, right? I agree. I know, I'm getting a little carried away with that. Maybe I'll stop doing that. I'll always do the agree, but I won't accentuate saying it so much anymore. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, new viewers. I'm sure if you're watching at this point, you already subscribed. Viewers, you guys who have subscribed, thanks for hanging in there with me. We're on the train, guys. We're on the Tom Reefer train. It's going up. So that hopefully will be a good thing. I think it will. You know, if comments get too many, how am I going to respond to all of them? I'll do my best. All right, so that's it for this one. Have a great Wednesday night, and I'll see you on Sunday. Take care now, guys.